How's it going, folks? So we got a new song here from the band Starborn Legion, and the name of this song here is Hybrids. With that being said, I've covered this band before. I think the name of the song was Transcendence. It was quite unique. I think you all kind of dug it, and so did I. So I'm very curious to see what else they got for us here. So without further ado, let's give this bad boy a listen, shall we? Rangers, go. It's kind of a weird one here, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm also not going to lie to your faces and say I loved it because I not a big fan. Not off the first listen. Like I said, I'm going to be honest with you, folks. The one thing I do have to give them is I commend anybody who uses the word unfurl in their song. I mean, come on now. Got to give credit where it's due, as they say. But yeah, it feels like a rough version of a song. It feels like a song that's not quite refined yet. I couldn't distinguish much of anything, to be honest. I couldn't distinguish between the verses and the chorus, and it just all kind of went. And the rest of the song, it just felt like it didn't really have much of a direction. Maybe it demands further listens, but I could not get in the mindset of the songwriters and figure out the direction of this song. I just couldn't for the life of me. And it had that whole middle section that it just kind of went on and on and on, and it loses the listener. It was just too much of ambiance, too much of a build up. It just took too long, so that the listener becomes disengaged from the song. So that needed to be shortened up, in my humble opinion. Just to kind of bridge the gap a little bit better, because as it was, I was already kind of struggling. But once that hit, I was lost. That was that, and then it kind of came back in, and then you still kind of had a bridge. So I'm not quite sure what that middle section was. I thought it was the bridge, but then it kind of builds into the bridge in a sense, and I don't know. I don't know. I like the vocals. I like the vocal style. Those high notes were killer, but just something about this song, it just, nothing quite fit. It felt like you had too many puzzle pieces that are not, it's just not fitting right. Maybe you have puzzle pieces. I don't know. It's one of those songs, there's some songs where it feels like it's a Frankenstein song, and there's too many songs being compiled into one. This felt like one song, but you had like too many corner pieces of the puzzle, and you just couldn't bridge, the length of the puzzle. It just, things were not fitting in properly. I mean, it's got an ambiance to it, it's got a feeling to it, it's got a mood to it, and I felt that. But as far as like a coherent song, I was just struggling. And I like the vibe, I like that kind of spacey, kind of, thought-provoking feeling that the song conveys for the most part. But you still need to have that core, that foundation of a song that grounds the listener, and so you don't just float away. I felt like I just floated away in the song. I wasn't grounded by like a clear, coherent, solid verse and chorus distinction. It was just kind of, there was a lot of verses, some kind of spaciness, some ambiance, and that was it. So I just felt like I said, I just floated away. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. So very interesting, very different. And again, maybe it demands further listens, but off of one listen, it really just didn't pull me in by any stretch. I don't know. It's hard for me to even pinpoint anything. I mean, like I said, I like the vocal style, but even that felt a little weird. Like it just felt like there was no rhyme or reason between going high and not going high. Everything was just kind of there. Very peculiar. Very, very peculiar song. And like I said, always going to be honest with you folks. And I like peculiar. I like different. But this one, it just did not land for me. It just didn't. I floated away. You'll float too. Anyway, sorry, I couldn't resist. But no, yeah, I floated away. Let me know in the comments down below, folks. What do you think of this one? Oh, one thing that's worth mentioning though is it's a debut album soon. So I'm still very curious because the other song that I covered, if I recall correctly, it was intriguing. It was different. Folks were really kind of like interested in it. Like, oh man, what's this band up to? What are they doing? Do we have an album? Do we have this and that? I had a lot of people ask me about that, and I said, I don't know. Well, now we know. Album soon. Debut album soon. So we'll see what we get. We'll see how this song, where this song fits in the space of the album. You know, if it, sometimes songs, when they're extracted from the album, they just don't have the same feeling. They just don't land the same way that they do while listening through the context of the album. Maybe that's this is one of those songs. I couldn't tell you, but again, let me know in the comments down below. What you folks think of this bad boy here? Are you looking forward to the debut album? Let's talk about it all, and I'll catch you all next time. Ranger, out.